What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, successors? Welcome to Speak Your Success. You all are in for a great episode today. Today's Thursday, so that means it's time for Law Talk with Attorney Fred Jones. You're not gonna want to miss these. You're not gonna want to miss these stories, y'all. We got to talk a little bit about a student getting expelled from tech because what's going on out there, mocking Charlie Kirk's death, and also we have to talk about the events that took place at Delta State. We're gonna get into it here on Law Talk today on Speak Your Success in the morning. Don't touch that dial. Family, what's going on? What's going on, successors? Welcome to another episode of Speak Your Success in the Morning. I'm your host, Jonathan Jones. And y'all, the thing that we always have to make sure that we come to, we make sure we always have to break down a few things, all right? And the few things are, we always got to bring you the news, got to bring you sports, a little bit of culture, and we're going to give you the 3 E's every single day, okay? We're going to give you education, we're going to give you empowerment, and then even from that, we're going to make it a little bit entertaining, right? Because nobody likes to just be an old ball and chain and not have fun. So today, we're going to get ready to dive into Law Talk. Before we get into that, y'all, I just want to just share again. I know we've talked about it on the show, but have the opportunity to not go down, but go up to speak at Robert Morris University. And y'all, it was just an amazing opportunity, because it's one thing when you go and you prepare and then you have the opportunity to share with other people. But there's another thing when you began to see feedback and you began to hear that the information that you shared was then applied. And then they got results from the information that you applied. One more time, it's one thing to go and share and talk to people and share with people, but then there's another thing to go and see that information applied and get those results. So I'm excited about that, right? So I just want to share that really quick, but I don't want to waste time because I know we have some stories today to cover. And let me go ahead and pull up straight from the source, because we got to start with that word, right? I said we're going to be entertaining. I said we're going to bring you some education, but then I also said we're going to bring you empowerment. And there's nothing empowering just like the word. So today we're going to be in the book of Psalms. And we're going to go to Psalms chapter 30, and I'm going to break down verse 6 for you today. Psalms chapter 30, verse 6. So we're going to go ahead and pull up straight from the source and go ahead and get into this word this morning, okay? And today, the reason why I want to break down this verse is just on my heart this morning. I'm actually going to start from the top, verse 1. I'm going to go down to verse 6. But the reason why I want to read this is just because this text was on my heart. And it's titled A Psalm, a song at the dedication of the house, a psalm of David. And the text reads, I will exalt you, Lord, for you have lifted me up and have not let my enemies rejoice over me. Lord, my God, I cried to you for help and you healed me. Lord, you have brought up my soul from Sheol. You have kept me alive that I would not go down to the pit. Sing praise to the Lord, you, his godly ones, and praise the mention of his holiness. For his anger is but for a moment, his favor is for a lifetime. Weeping may last for a night, but a shout of joy comes in the morning. And typically when we hear this text, or when this text is read, we don't get all of the context, right? We don't get the whole, we don't get that 5 verses up, 5 verses down. What we typically hear is weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. But the reason why I wanted to break this down is we can focus there, right? We can focus on the sad part of the text, where the weeping may endure for a night. We even can go to the part where joy comes in the morning. But what happens when we begin to isolate the text and we began to focus on the character of God. So often in this Christian life, and I'm not talking at nobody, I'm not preaching at nobody. So if I'm coming off passionate, please, I'm not pointing at you, I'm not picking at you. I'm just giving scenario. But so often in this walk of faith, we can oftentimes extract what does the Bible mean to us? What does God mean to me? But sadly enough, it's not really about what God means to you. It's about what is the character of God? What is the nature of God? And when we began to break that down, look, let's go back into the text. I will exalt you, Lord, for you have lifted me up, and I will not let my enemies rejoice over me. Yes, Lord my God. Lord my God. I cried to you for help and you healed me. So what are we seeing here now? One, him seeing that he's been lifted up by God. So the character and the nature here of God is just showing his heart, right? Lifting somebody up, elevating somebody, or elevating David in this situation. And he said, you're not letting my enemies rejoice over me. This is showing once again the heart of God, right? He's because if he's not letting the enemies rejoice over him, that's showing a level of protection. That's showing a level of covering. And then we'll go down. I cried to you for help and you healed me. So the character and the nature of God, a healer, a redeemer, a restorer. What happens to somebody somebody who is healed ultimately means that they were hurt or in a state of pain at one particular point, right? Man, this is when you really read the word of God, like it's all there, like it's there. Okay, and then Lord, you have brought me up. You have brought up my soul from Sheol, and you have kept me alive, that I would not go down in the pit. Savior, that I would not go down in the pit. You kept me alive. What? Man, sing praises to the Lord, you his godly ones, and praise the mention of his holiness. If we really, you, me, I, we, all of us, if we really understood how holy God is, we wouldn't even trip on some of the stuff that we trip on. Like if we really understood that being in the family of Christ, if we really knew that God is our heavenly Father, and for some of us who might not have had the best relationship with our earthly father, so then we put God in that spot. If we really accepted what it means to be called holy, if we really accepted what it talks about in the Bible where it says we are joint heirs with Christ, if we really understood what that meant, weeping would come for a night. And I'm not belittling or I'm not minimizing pain, hurt, suffering, loss, anything like that, because these are real emotions and these are real experiences. And I actually read some text the other day where it talked about how Jesus has experienced every emotion that we could even begin to fathom, right? We're not even going to go there today because we don't have time. But if we really just begin to grasp some of that in the moments of life, we wouldn't make mountains out of molehills, right? Oh, his favor is for a lifetime. It's one thing to have the favor of a teacher, right? You're like, yeah, I'm the favorite student, I'm the teacher's pet, whatever it might be, right? This is going to help you, get whatever grades you're going to get in class. It's another thing to have the favor at work, where your boss compliments you because of what you do, and your boss likes the way you show up and you present. But it's a total different thing to have the favor of God for a lifetime. And then let's take it a little bit further. I see the time. I'm running against the clock. I'm running against the shot clock. But the favor of God for a lifetime is amazing because, yes, that's on earth. But if we talk about his favor for a lifetime, just imagine that's going to extend beyond our earthly life. So the favor of God in heaven. So imagine just sitting there in God's face and you're just soaking it in, and you can feel how much he loves you. You can feel how proud he is of you. You're just right here, just soaking it in. Imagine God bragging on you to himself. He take a step back and say, I really broke the mold when I made you. Just the way that you think and just the way that you operate and the way that you can break down analytical and complex situations. You are so talented. You are so extraordinary. You are so mighty. You are so powerful. I don't know who needs to hear this today. I might need to hear it today. I'm getting the chill bumps right now. Whatever you're going through right now, today, in the moment, like I said before, it might be loss. Somebody might have taken something from you. You might have just suffered a bad breakup in a relationship. You might be torn because of the relationship that you have with a family member. You might be in a strained relationship to where you don't want to talk to this person or don't want to talk to that person. If you need to weep, allow yourself the time, the space, and the place to weep. Get it out. Release it. Jesus wept, and he cried tears of blood. Weep. Do what you need to do to release. Weep. Talk to a close personal friend. Talk to a counselor. Talk to your pastor. Talk to somebody. But then, shout, because your joy is coming. This isn't a prosperity gospel. This is what the word says. But a shout of joy is coming in the morning. So release what you need to release to get that thing off you. And the reason I'm saying release is because what do we know about release? When something is released, then it creates space for us then to absorb. Then it takes space and creates space for us then to be able to take in. When we release things out of our hands now are free. And then we can grab hold to whatever it is God has for us. Family, that's been straight from the source this morning. Man, well, wasn't even trying to go there like that, but I guess God had other plans. But y'all, if you're enjoying this content and you're enjoying the show, just be sure to hit that like button so YouTube can see that you like it, and then they can push it out to other people in the algorithm so we can continue to spread this message. Right, straight from the source, and continue to share everything that we're doing here at Speak Your Success in the Morning. But we're about to take a quick commercial break, and just like I said before, we have some stories to get into, and just as our producer Britt always lets us know, she said we always want to make sure that we bring stories and news that the people can really use, that's applicable to our community. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with more Speak Your Success in the Morning with attorney Fred Jones after this. Looking for timeless pieces that make a statement? Discover the Jewelry Department, where elegance meets craftsmanship. Owned by Miguel Contreras and located at 13505 Mumford Place, Suite 103 in Dallas, the Jewelry Department is your destination for stunning, one-of-a-kind pieces designed to elevate your style. From classic designs to modern trends, we offer a curated selection that reflects sophistication and artistry. Because we believe your jewelry should be just as unique as you are. Visit us today at the Jewelry Department, where every piece tells a story. And let us help you find the perfect piece that speaks to yours. The Jewelry Department, elevating your look with elegance and style. Find us at 13505 Mumford Place, Suite 103 in Dallas. Family, welcome back to Speak Your Success in the Morning. Speak Your Success in the Morning. Speak Your Success in the Morning. And today, we have the privilege and we have the pleasure of attorney Fred Jones on the show. Dad, how you doing this morning? How we doing?
If I told you the truth, you think I was bragging?
Oh, man, not bragging. Not bragging. Oh, man. Good.
Life is good.
That's good. That's good. That's always good to hear. Always good to hear from you on your side. Yeah. So, man, Dad, man, things have been happening in the news. I mean, as always. But go ahead.
Before you get to the news, that was some news you just brought us there, man. That was few words, you know. No matter what we going through, Jesus has been through worse. So we need to put everything in perspective. Don't get all bent out. Sit back and a bit and reflect on what he's done for us and forgive and keep it moving. Not to minimize anything, but that was a good word. That was very inspiring.
Praise God, man. Yeah, and that it's always, and we're gonna dive into the news, but for those of you all who don't know, I had the privilege of growing up with this gentleman to my right, who is my father as well as the father to my oldest brother, Fred Jones Jr. And Dad, growing up, we saw you in the pocket of evangelism, right? Because we grew up in the church, and we would go with you to different churches, and you would preach here and different things like that. So it's really a treat and really interesting to see like how God has brought this thing around from seeing you present and speak at different places and do conferences and things like that. And then now you're on the show, and then I speak. So it's interesting. It's just interesting to see see this thing go full circle.
While we preach what we believe, we reproduce what we are.
Yeah. And
That's
there that is.
It's
Yeah,
all about reproduction.
man.
Reproduction is the highest form of spirituality.
Oh man. Okay, okay. Come on, Dad. You got to break that down. Break that down a little bit. Break that down a little bit.
Jesus said, "Go into all the world and make disciples." He said, "Go and make disciples." And in Genesis, God spoke in Genesis 1. He talked about everything reproduces after its kind. So if you think you're spiritual, it ain't just about praying, reading the Bible, tithing, and doing these things that we call church, which are all good and we should do them. But real spirituality is reproducing yourself so that you will continue to represent Christ for generations to come. It's about reproduction.
Okay. Reproduction.
All right. Okay. All right.
But mess around. Have a little church in here. Have a little church.
Yeah. Come on with
it. Okay. So now we're gonna dive in, and today first I want to kick off this one, and man, shout out to producer Britt for lining us up with some phenomenal topics that apply to us and the people that we serve. But first up, Dad. Black voter concern is growing over Trump's redistricting push. Okay, let's read a little bit of article, and I'm gonna read off my iPad because it's small on that screen. So the Reverend Emmanuel Cleaver III wants a second civil rights movement in response to President Donald Trump and his fellow Republicans who are redrawing congressional district boundaries to increase their power in Washington. Let me read a little bit more. In Missouri, the GOP's effort comes at the expense of Cleaver's father, Democratic Rep. Emmanuel Cleaver II. And many of the Kansas City constituents who fear a national redistricting scramble will reverse gains Black Americans won 2 generations ago and leave them without effective representation on Capitol Hill. If we, the people of faith, do not step up, we are going to go back even further. The younger Cleaver told the St. James Church congregation on a recent Sunday. Drawing affirmations of amen in the sanctuary where his father, also a minister, launched his first congressional bid in 2004. Dad, when we hear this, when we hear this, and just thinking of where we are right now with the current leadership that we have, what does this trigger in your mind from a legal perspective in regards to our community?
Oh, from a legal perspective, gerrymandering, it doesn't just redraw the lines, it redraws the voice of the entire community. That's what we want to think about. This is a redrawing of the voice of the people who are vote. You see, so the question is, how much power should courts have over political maps? And how much rests in the hands of the voters? So the key here is a balance of power. How much do we want to leave to the judicial branch, or how much do we want to put in the hands of just everyday people? And that answer comes every day about every 4 years, every 2 years, every year when it's election time. You see, this ain't about what the current administration is doing. It's about what the people didn't do who are belly aching and complaining about what this administration is doing. The power is in the vote, the power is in your voice. And until we wake up and begin to really leverage that in a passionate way, you're going to always be on the fence talking about what they are doing and what the people over here are doing and what's happening to us.
So the push is we can't sit on our hands and we can't not vote, but then have a lot to say about what's currently taking place. We have to get out and vote.
Freedom is never free. You always got to fight. Okay, this business of freedom is free. We want freedom. It's always a fight, right? And as long as we have the type of government that we have in this country, it's always going to be back and forth. This government is designed to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But what we as believers and we as people of faith might want to do, should be doing, and that is taking our position and standing our ground and doing what's right so that we can be a light to the left and a light to the right.
Oh man. Okay, let me hit a little bit more of this article. Kansas City residents worry they'll be cut short. In redistricting lingo, it's called packing and cracking. Those maneuvers are at the heart of Trump's push for friendlier GOP districts as he tries to avoid reprising 2018 when midterms yielded a House Democratic majority that stymied his agenda and impeached him twice. Okay, because what does it say? Because now voters lean Democratic and white voters tilt Republican, concentrating certain minorities into fewer districts, packing, and can reduce the number of minority Democrats in a legislative body by spreading geographically concentrated minority voters across many districts, cracking, and it can diminish their power in choosing lawmakers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna read the bottom of this right here. We will be cut short, said Meredith Shellner, a retired nurse who predicted losses in education and healthcare access. I just think it's not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah. Well, John, we hear these dark stories and we hear these hard stories, but at the end of the day, the legal process, our political process, plays out by those who are active, those who activate their power, and those who uh, take action in a way that can elevate their power. And whoever's in authority, whoever's in power, they're going to push their agenda, they're going to push their perspective. And that's only to be expected. So we can have confidence, we can have courage. We are Americans. And I think the more we mainstream our thinking and the mainstream our thoughts, the better lifestyles we can have in this country and realize that the left and the right are both still American.
Okay, so your word of advice to the individual who the past few elections hasn't got out and voted, right? They've had a lot to say, but at the same time that they have felt that there isn't a sense of urgency, there isn't a push for them to vote. From your seat, from your chair as an attorney, what word would you give them to put a little fire under them to get them to make a different decision than they've made in the past, to get out to those polls? If it be local election, term election, presidential election, what would you say to that person right now if they're sitting right here with you?
Shut up. Stand up. Speak up. And stay up on your responsibility as a citizen. Take action. You got to take action. Else, just shut up. Be quiet. Be quiet. You're just talking. And all this talking and blaming, take action. Be proactive. Don't just be responsive or reactive. Respond. Don't react, respond. It's simple.
I got you. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. Okay, we're about to take a quick commercial break, you all, and we're gonna be right back with more Speaker Success in the Morning after this. Do you want to feel confident in your skin every day? Introducing. Do you want to feel confident in your skin every day? Introducing Skin Rituals, a luxury home-based skin studio that specializes in hyperpigmentation, acne, and personalized treatments for every skin type. Owned by solo esthetician and registered nurse Courtney Durham, Skin Rituals is all about curating facial treatments designed just for you. Hydrate, brighten, nourish, and soothe your skin with expert care and that promote natural healing. Whether you're looking for a relaxing facial or a transformative chemical peel, Skin Rituals offers results driven treatment tailored to your needs. With over 7 years of experience, Courtney's goal is to help you safely achieve the healthy skin that you deserve. At Skin Rituals, we believe that taking care of your skin is an investment in your confidence. Book your appointment today and leave every session feeling grateful for the choice that you made to take care of yourself. Skin Rituals, because your skin deserves the very best. All right, family. Welcome back to Speak Your Success in the Morning. Dad, okay, so like I was saying before, I wanna get into some of this other news, man. This is so we talked on the show last week about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and now what has taken place since then. There have been some rumblings on a college campus, and the rumblings on the college campus come in the form of a young lady who had something to say, and I just wanna pull it up. I'm not gonna play the clip because there is some language in the clip, but but what takes place here is it says black Texas Tech student expelled and arrested for mocking Charlie Kirk's death. So let's go ahead and read some of the article. Texas government Abbott celebrated former Texas Tech student Cameron Booker for getting both expelled and arrested in an X post on Monday. There we see the post. I'm not gonna play it like I said because there is some language in some of these clips, and I just want to give a little more context right here. So, according to Fox 4, former student Cameron Booker was seen arguing with a fellow student during a memorial for Charlie Kirk in Texas Tech's free speech area. She repeatedly told the students, F y'all, your homie dead. Eventually, police arrived on the scene and arrested Booker for assault. Allegedly, she flicked the hat of one of the people she was arguing with. Booker was detained on a $200 bond and has since been released. And what I saw as I read the video, well, as I read the article and I watched the video, you see Miss Booker bouncing around and she's saying just like what they said, "F y'all, your homie dead. F y'all, your homie dead." And then from that point, what took place was, then you see the camera pan, and then you see her step up into the face of a Caucasian gentleman who is at this memorial, and then he's like, "Can you please back up?" And then she's like, "No, you got the camera in my face." And he's like, "No, you're getting in my face." And then this is how this then the debate starts to starts to heat up a little bit. But the gentleman remained calm, and she continues to bounce around. Dad, if Miss Booker was your client, what's the conversation we're having?
Ah, okay. Well, if this was my client, the conversation I would be having is, wow, that's a good question. I like it. I like it. Okay. I wanted to pause just a little bit and give it some processing.
Mm-hmm.
What we're talking about here is free speech. And what we're talking about here is a very toxic topic right now
Mm-hmm.
because there's heightened sensitivity. Okay. And anytime someone even mentioned the name of this person that's in the news that some people are celebrating and some people are very, very saddened over, the nature of this person's lifestyle was confrontational.
Mm.
This person created this type of atmosphere everywhere this person went on college campuses. And so, um, my mentor, Bert Robinson, attorney Bert Robinson, told me this years ago. He said, hard cases make bad law.
Mm.
Hard cases make bad law. So often the law wants to come in and correct a hard case when in reality, the law is not really, that may mean something to be on hold. I would say to my client and all of my future clients, cool your jets.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know what battery is. Battery is the unlawful touching of another. So when somebody say, get out of my face, back up, you need to give them that space. Because if you touch them in the middle of a heated debate, you have just possibly committed battery.
Mm.
Okay? Assault is the threat of immediate harm. Assault is like you about to harm me. So that's why you have assault and battery. It's a fear of being harmed, and then you touch the person. That's battery, assault and battery.
Mm.
That's a charge that people are not aware of when they get angry and emotional.
Yeah.
I would tell my client, don't talk anymore. Do not talk. That's the main thing. My main message to any client is don't talk to the police, don't talk to the investigators until you have talked to your lawyer.
Yeah.
Don't talk to the police. When the moment they put them bracelets on you and say you have the right to remain silent, anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. You understand? You're clear. Stop talking.
Mm.
Don't calm down. Okay, stop talking. So that's what I would be saying to my client. Don't talk to anybody. Just listen to me. And John, I would be preparing to have the prosecution or the whoever brought the charges drop and say, hey, this was a heated discussion, and what my client said was factual. What my client said was correct.
Mm.
And that there's nothing wrong with what this person said, even though it was harsh and maybe even insensitive. But harshness and insensitivity is not a violation of the law necessarily until
Mm.
you touch or harm somebody. And I think that's what we need to be paying close attention to right now as the nation reels and rocks with insanity on both sides
Yeah.
about what's been going on with this person who supported what killed him. He
Mm.
supported what killed him. So we got to respect and honor that as opposed to reacting and feeling like we got to make this some kind of political war. Back
Wow.
up for a moment. This gentleman advocated free speech. He advocated intense debates and argument. He got in people's faces. So when people are reacting and responding the way he did, let's give them the same respect and justice that we've given him all of his life that allowed him to build a career and a campaign and a movement that caused many people to fall in love with him. Allow people to fall in love with the people that are saying things that he didn't agree or that he didn't say, the same way we did for him.
My. That's some strong coffee there, Attorney Fred Jones. That's some strong coffee. Man.
I only drink black coffee.
Dad, but I want to bring this up though, because I saw this in that first sentence. So it said that this was during a memorial for Charlie Kirk, but it said it was in Texas Tech's free speech area. Does that carry any weight to this? Does that add anything to this conversation?
Hard cases make bad law. We throw out the law in the middle of heightened political actions, heightened media attention, and a heightened, insensitive, or out of balance administration.
Mm,
What does the law have to do with it? Pretty much. I mean, that's basically what's happening out here today.
man.
It ain't even really about the law. It's about politicizing a current issue that is fundamental to something that the left and the right hold so dearly, and that's free speech.
Mm,
But, John, my 65 years have taught me something.
talk to me.
America probably will always be a bifurcated nation, two parts, bifurcated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
America will always be a divided nation. We say one nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and just for all. But unfortunately, I wish I could say that all of us in this country are treated equally
Mm.
according to the 14th Amendment. I don't see it. And anybody with a half a set of eyes would have to say the same.
All right. All right. I just want to read this last part and we can move on. So the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, he tweeted, "This is what happens to a person who was mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination at Texas Tech. FAFO." And then you see the picture of Miss Booker. And then he says, "Definitely picked the wrong school to taunt the death of Charlie Kirk. Thanks, Texas Tech."
I would think the governor would have had other things to be doing that would have been more for the betterment of the people that he supposedly represent, all the people of that state.
Mm.
Uh, Everybody don't feel the same way the governor feels about this particular issue, and I think that it's a waste of his time and energy for him to be tweeting and posting this kind of thing. But that's what you can do when you're in an authority, and if the people of Texas want to change something, you do that at the polls.
Wow, wow. All right, now we're going to transition, and this is a topic that's come up, and I briefly spoke on it, kick off the show. But Trey Reed, the video evidence is currently being reviewed, and this was in this young man's of him being hung, right? So the article says that the family of Trey Reed has called for an independent investigation and autopsy into Reed's death after he was found hanging from a tree. Okay, WLBT3 reports that at a Wednesday morning press conference, Delta staff director of public safety Mike Peeler was asked about rumors of the existence of the videotape. There are videos, and they're in the hands of the investigative team, Peeler says, adding that Cleveland, Mississippi police are leading the investigation. And the reporter then asked if surveillance videos showed what happened to Trey Reed when he died on campus. Wow. Well, let me. I skipped that first sentence. Let me just read that. So, video evidence in the hanging of death of 21-year-old Delta State student Mr. Trey Reed has been retrieved and is being reviewed by investigators.
Transparency,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
transparency builds trust,
Mm.
but suspicion, or when there's not transparency, it's going to breed suspicion. Okay, transparency will build trust, but silence is going to breed suspicion.
So okay. So what are you saying here based on what the information that we have in the article? Do we think that there And I'm not gonna assume anything, but based on what we've read so far, what are you hearing?
I'm hearing there's a video.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm hearing there's a video. Dead people, last time I checked, they don't talk.
And that's a
That's
fact.
why that's why I tell people all the time, don't be out here arguing with the police and all this kind of thing because you give yourself a death sentence on the side of the road. But if there's a video, okay, who should control that evidence? When should the public know?
Mm,
When should the family know? And the longer the time that goes before the evidence is released or revealed, the further we get away from finding the perpetrator if there was one.
mm. Wow,
So transparency is huge. Let me ask you this. Would you trust the process without seeing evidence?
that's tough. I would want to see something. I would want to hear something. I would want to be in the know, and I would definitely I would definitely want to be in the know. So
Yeah.
it would make it difficult to trust the process. I even read when I even read the article that there were conversations that was said that the school had talked to the family, but then later in the article, the family said there had been no communication with them.
Yeah, yeah, we you get all kind of bad reports and misinformation and so forth.
Mm,
But this is very suspicious, and anybody hanging from a tree that should really cause an alarm. And if there's evidence, then this is something that the nature of this type of criminal activity is something that the federal government might need to be looking into. If Mr. Trump can send troops to Chicago and New Orleans and all this kind of stuff, why can't he send troops to investigate something that's happening like this? Because this sets America back. This
mm,
kind of thing, if there was foul play, if there was wrongdoing, if this was not a suicide, we don't know what it was, okay? And if we don't know until we know, we need to stay positive.
mm,
If we don't know, don't fill in the blank with negativity. Fill in the blank with either nothing or positivity.
mm.
And I
Yeah,
ain't much positive you can get out of this.
yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, it says the original story early Monday morning. The body of 21-year-old Trey Reed, a student at Mississippi's Delta State University, was discovered hanging from a tree on campus. And before long, a press conference was held during which the university police chief, Mr. Peeler, and Delta State President Dan Ennis both stressed that there is no evidence of foul play and no evidence of a threat to campus. On Tuesday, Reed's family and attorneys included famed civil rights attorney Ben Crump and held a press conference of their own to demand full transparency from the authorities handling Reed's investigation. The family does not know exactly what happened on September the 15th, 2025. Attorney Vanessa Jones said, "We are seeking answers. We're seeking answers."
This is something that I think is bigger than campus police.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I question why would they leave something like this only in the hands of campus police? At least the state police
Wow.
yeah, or the city police, any one of them got more resources than the campus police. I mean, sure, the campus police is going to come back and say, oh, no foul play. Well, what have
Mm.
you looked at? What did you examine? Did we take evidence from the scene? Did we do a crime investigation? What have
Mm.
we what do we have here? And if there's video, hey, let's find out what's there so we can begin to get on the trails of the perpetrator
Yeah.
if there was one.
Yeah. And then it said that the family of Trey. Oh, go ahead, Dad. Go ahead.
A tough situation.
Yeah, it said the family of Trey Reed has not received a phone call from the president of Delta State University. Jones emphasized. Conversely, WAPT 16 reported the school's president suggested via Facebook that administrators have been in contact with the family since Reed's death and will continue to be. One of our students is gone, and we will never forget that, Ennis wrote. We will continue to contact and meet with Trey's family. We give them our love and support, and we know that we can never fully heal this wound. Hmm.
Well, I think also we don't want to put a burden on the victims here, but the family also know their son, right? And so if there was any kind of health issues or mental health issues that the son may have been going through that the family know or knew of,
Mm.
that's relevant. If friends if friends of the gentleman know of something that he was going through, that's relevant. If friends of the person who was found hung in a tree know or knew of anything he was going through, or anybody that had threatened him,
Mm.
anybody that knows anything about this young man should be talking to law enforcement so that they can expedite the recovery and the locating of somebody who was connected to this crime if it was a crime.
Mm, mm. This is true. This is true. All right, we're going to transition to our last story, Dad. We're going to transition to our last story, and and I actually, well, let me just read it. I'll say, okay, so California lawmakers are pass bill banning law enforcement from wearing masks. So the No Secret Police Act was designed to respond to ICE wearing face masks during their frequent immigration raids throughout California. Just from the headline, what are you what are you hearing? Just from the headline and looking at that and then seeing the image right here with them wearing these gaiters and these ski mask coverings.
Yeah, John, this is all. If law if I have to show you my face, you should have to show me your face.
Mm,
Law enforcement is not the enemy of the community. Law enforcement is supposed to be the friend of the community. And
mm,
when we go to this era of, unless there's a safety concern, unless there's some type of health concern, what's the reasoning behind wearing a mask? Why hide your face?
yeah.
Why hide your face when you are going after people like this? So it immediately, causes flashbacks to
Man.
the hoods, of the
Mm,
Klan. And it all comes back to that kind of thing. In those pictures, they had dark masses, while the Klan wore white masks. So I don't think it just doesn't have a good smell to it. I don't know all the details of the law, but immediately I would think you should be able to show your face. I mean, you could be that could be my pastor who's a law
mm.
out there who's a law enforcement and carrying out these raids. It could be the leader in the church. That
Wow.
could be anybody. And I think that citizens should have a right to know and see who these people are.
Man. Yeah, that's very valid. And right here it says it's unclear whether California Governor Newsom will sign the bill into law. While Newsom has criticized the use of face masks by ICE in the past, he's also questioned the constitutionality of the state's ability to police federal officers. Hmm. An opinion by constitutional law expert Erwin Chemerinsky at the University of California, Berkeley, has been cited by the bill's supporters as to how the law would be enforced. And Chemerinsky wrote that while a state can't regulate federal government, they do have to obey state laws, unless doing so would significantly interfere with the performance of their duties. For example, while on the job, federal employees must stop at red lights. Hmm. Okay.
Where's the balance between public trust and officer safety? We got to find a balance here between all this, right? And then
Mm,
the public wants to be able to trust law enforcement, and we want law enforcement to be safe. So, is wearing a mask a safety issue? It
mm,
definitely, it definitely pushes the lever on the trust side. It pushes it down. It don't make me. I don't trust somebody I don't know who they are.
wearing a mask that does put up that does create a certain level of like anxiety or a certain level of uncertainty or like what I don't it just creates unwanted fear, unwanted tension, just based on seeing it,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
you don't know what's under that mask. And
yeah.
yeah, you could be covering, covering because you have a cough, but I mean, you could be covering because you're about to stick somebody up. You never know. You never know with these masks, and it doesn't, it doesn't create the safest are the most warm of environments?
I wonder what the audience would say. Those of you who are watching us right now, drop a comment in the comment and let us know what your how you what do you think about these issues? Should they wear masks? Should they not wear masks? Should
Mm.
the details of the investigation of the hanging be made public, or should law enforcement have a right to keep it all secret or private? Should redistricting be done by the administration that's in there, or should they leave the districts the same? You be the judge. Comment. Let us know.
Oh, my. That is good. Yeah, that is good. So yeah, that's everybody out there watching. Yeah, be sure to engage and interact with us, and we'll engage and interact right back with you here on Speaking Success in the Morning. Because like I said before, we're gonna bring you news, we're gonna bring you sports, we're gonna bring you culture, but also we're gonna bring you education, entertainment, and empowerment. Those three E's that we strive to serve and support you with every single day. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna let Attorney Fred Jones take us out with our final thought for the day. We'll be right back with more Speaker Success in the Morning after this. Are you a new or budding entrepreneur looking to set your business up for success? Profit Mode is here to help you navigate your entrepreneurial journey with expert education and services. From tax planning and bookkeeping to selecting the right business structure, Profit Mode has you covered. They'll even educate you on how to properly set up your business for building credit so you can grow with confidence. Profit Mode's mission is to provide you with the tools and guidance you need to establish a solid foundation for your business. Whether you're just getting started or you're ready to take the next step, we're here to support your goals. Let Profit Mode help you turn that entrepreneurial dream into a reality. With the knowledge and services to back it up, your success starts with the right foundation. Contact Profit Mode today to get started. All right, family. Welcome back to Speak Your Success in the Morning. Welcome back to Speak Your Success in the Morning. All right, man, Dad, going live, man, going live. You learn a lot going live. I'll tell you that. You learn a lot going live. Man, you learn a lot going live. Man, so we covered a lot of information today. I feel like we did a great job of educating the people, bringing some topics to the forefront. Because what producer Britt and myself were talking about yesterday, Dad, is just the fact that there's so many things that's getting passed through media and through the airwaves. If it's people making a big deal of things like Shannon Sharp with sports media or Molly from First Take, abruptly leaving the show, making the decision to not renew her contract with the show. But at the same time, we were talking about how there are topics with news and information that is getting brushed under the rug because some of these other topics are taking precedent over the main airways and the highways and different things like that. But Dad, as we're down to our final few minutes here on the show, I want to just kick it over to you and see what your final thought would be for the people today who are listening, who are watching, and who are tuning in.
Well, John, my final thought is the law will not come to the aid of one who enters into a bad bargain. Put another way, if you agree to a deal and you both parties shake or you sign a document, that's a deal. That's a binding contract. The law will not come to the aid of one who enters into a bad bargain. That's why the most expensive thing you will ever pay is attention to the wrong people. Stay informed legally.
Wow, there it is, man. There it is. I couldn't have said it any better way. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to get out of here. Gonna give y'all a few minutes back today. But y'all here, this is Speaker Success in the Morning. Man, shout out to Attorney Fred Jones, also my father, right? My father, Attorney Fred Jones. And if you're somebody who wants to make sure that you're protecting your intellectual property, you want to make sure that you're protecting your legacy and your life's work and your trade secrets, go to fredjoneslaw.com. Do yourself a favor and go to fredjoneslaw.com, because it's one thing, to begin to work with an attorney to help you navigate and put things in place before a situation happens, before you're in need, right? Before you're in need, it's another thing to reach out when you're frazzled and you're trying to just get to, hey, I'm just trying to get my head above water. Just do yourself a favor and reach out on the front end. So do yourself a favor, go to fredjoneslaw.com and have a conversation. Have a conversation to to lawyer up and protect your life work and protect your legacy. So, Dad, thanks for coming and being our residential attorney here on the show. I really enjoyed Thursdays and getting to talk with you and hearing your perspective on these topics. So thank you as always, and thank you for the work that you continue to do, protecting people and really having a heart for the people.
Thank you for what you're doing, John. I appreciate this show. Much love.
All right. So, family, we're going to go ahead and get ready to get out of here. Tomorrow is Fun Friday, and you all know if you're in the DFW area, we like to come to Fun Friday and like to talk about events that are happening in the city and letting you know ways that you can get out, kick back, and release and be free, right? So we're going to share a few events with you happening in the city coming up this week, tomorrow, as well as we're going to have a little bit more fun, laid back, relaxing topics, right? A little bit more relaxing type conversation, dialogue. We're going to get producer Britt back tomorrow. And family, also be reminded, two things. One is that if you've been enjoying our content here on the show and you want to get more of the content, so we actually have it to where you can become a community member on YouTube. So not only can you subscribe, but you can subscribe to where you become a monthly member and you get to see content behind the paywall, right? So different things that we're doing, different sessions, and even like me, I did a speaking engagement just last week, and I have that conversation back there because that's exclusive access, behind the gate. So we're going to continue to upload things like that in those conversations, as well as be sure to share this episode with a friend so that not only you're educated about things and news that's happening in the community, but they also can be educated. All right. Teach one, reach one. And family, remember, please remember, speak your success, believe in your greatness, and continue to create the life and business of your dreams. Why would you and why should you live any other way? Till next time, family. Peace. God bless.